play, or maybe you as well. I don't know. It's saying, yeah, it's starting up now. Yada yada. Go. Yes. Oh, I should check that URL. Oof. Come on. Stream's not offline. I can. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Welcome to the second episode ever of the Survivor Idle Thoughts podcast. We will be talking about the merge episode. My name is David, and I am joined by Jake.
What's up, everybody?
So this was a very eventful episode. Like I just kind of said, I normally had that intro a lot longer. I think that was just based on the first episode. We are missing Max, who won't be back for the next podcast, or at least for the podcast for the time being. Maybe I'll try to get him on as a guest or something. Maybe he can discuss his ideas or whatever. But moving forward, the Survivor merge has finally happened. I love when this happens, when the two tribes come together. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Oh, the merge is one of my favorite parts of the game. It changed the whole aspects. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta start meeting new people, create new alliances. It like literally changes the game. You go
Yeah.
from the bottom to the top like that.
Which we saw with Aubrey, who was on the very bottom, like knew she was on the bottom, and because Joe's pissed off, and which this is something that was weird for me when Scott immediately just goes, "You crossed Julia's name out and wrote Pete. You should be thanking her. You should be like, thank you so much for doing that." You know?
I mean, I still think Aubrey's on the bottom though because they're looking at blindsiding her. She was the next target.
Right.
Unfortunately, Neil's exit. We can get to that later, but Aubrey is the one to go. And I'm to be honest, I'm not even the biggest fan of Aubrey. She's just kind of there. I
Mhm.
don't know.
I like Aubrey's underdog-esque story. I think it has a lot to it. The thing it's hard because Aubrey she's from Massachusetts. I always root for the Massachusetts. Like Julia and Aubrey are both the two girls. I have to root for them, and she's the underdog. Like I really root for her, but it's like you're not. Like I'm sorry, but you're
I'm not even
not
the biggest fan of Aubrey.
Like it's like you're not gonna. I don't know. I just can't see her winning. I can see her getting far.
Oh, she's not gonna win. She doesn't have a winner's edit at all. She
Right.
won't. Maybe she'll make it to final three, but it's not like she's got the winner's edit like a Jason or something.
The thing with Jason, I don't know. Like I don't know if he's like I know what you're saying about the winner's edit, but is he really like is he getting really that edit of like it's hard like because they've been known to now trick people. Like I felt like Anna was somewhat getting like a winner's edit kind of thing, and she was gone like that. I thought Ty was going to be the medevac tonight, just based on the leg thing. Like I felt like it was weird that they mentioned that during a tribal council. Like I get it's supposed to be the toughest season, but I was like, that seems a little weird when you haven't mentioned anyone else's injuries where they have them. So I was like, oh, it will be Ty tonight, and it wasn't. So I was like really shocked, and apparently he's gonna be fine. So we're gonna see more of Ty. Thank fucking God.
Yeah, I can see how you saw that. I totally thought Nick was going to be the one to go because
Really?
he's been absent the entire game, and then like last episode they talked him up like,
Yeah.
oh, he's this challenge god, dude. He almost beat Scott in the shooting the hoops, and it's like, holy shit, he's a fucking beast.
Right.
And I thought like maybe they're going to pull Caleb, and he's going to be the one to go home, but it didn't end up happening that way. And I mean, now it's looking like Nick has potential of making it to the end. I don't know where. I mean, this editing this season. I mean, you're right. It's been tricking us all.
Yeah. One thing this is the thing I think of when I see Nick. I think they were he's a very good narrator. Very, very good narrator. And I don't know if maybe you want to disagree with that, but
I mean, I kind of just. Did you ever see that one confessional on YouTube where literally you can hear the producer like saying him to say stuff? Like he was just like, "Hi, my name's Nick." And
I didn't see that one.
From behind the scenes, the producer's like, "Where are you from?" And he's like,
Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't see that at all. Like, so that's kind of like,
and that's why I thought they were talking about him is because his confessionals were just so bad they couldn't have him on the show, and that's why I thought they weren't having him. Now he's killing it, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, this guy came out of nowhere style thing. I mean, I think Nick wants to be the attention. I'm not saying he's like an attention whore. I think he wants like that front and center, like he wants to be the prettiest one at the ball kind of thing. But I don't know if he was just really like fatigued for the first couple days or so, and he just wasn't getting that many like sound bites or whatever. But he also could have had really good confessionals. They're out there for like for 24 hours. He probably had good ones, but they probably want someone to narrate the people going before tribal council. And I feel like he has that ability to do that when he's like in the bottom area, and he's always been on the top. Like Beauty was never going to tribal. Where did he go to? Not Gondal. Chan Lo was never going to tribal council. Like,
Yeah.
so I feel like they wanted that, and they just never got it. But the thing I was also paid attention to was how Sydney, and I don't know if you know, maybe you noticed this, because I couldn't notice it when they actually brought it up. When Sydney and Jason were sitting in the shelter, and they noticed the bulge in Neil's pocket, and they were like, "Oh, that's the idol."
What a fucking idiot, dude. Who carries around the idol? Go hide it under a damn rock or something.
Right. Well, I agree with that. Like, he shouldn't have carried it, but like that, like I don't know how. Like, how did you notice that? Like, I would never. Like, I could get where you might have saw it, but I would like that's like you're really focusing in on his bulge.
Well, she sure as hell isn't looking at his other bulge, so I don't know. I mean, there's not going to be a bulge on the right side of your pocket unless it's an idol.
Hey, depends on how low it hangs. I'm just saying. It's like
I don't see that from Neil.
no, I don't either. But I'm thinking in my head though, like that's really like that's some good observation from Sydney, because I could even tell maybe Jason was kind of like no way, and then as he was getting close, he's like, holy fucking shit, yeah, that's an idol.
And why didn't Jason? I mean, if I was Jason, I would be like, talk to Neil be like, try to form an alliance with him.
He
And
might
then
have, though.
Jason has control of 3 idols,
He
pretty much.
right, he might have done something, and Neil probably backed off. But again, he probably wants to stick. The thing with Jason, I think he wants to keep the brawn together and not go with the brains, because the brains, he wants to eliminate those people because they're very good in the final or the final immunity challenges. You'd think someone like Jason and Scott aren't that bright of dudes, but like just based on like one's a bounty hunter, one's like an NBA player. You saw like if you see
They're smart.
they're very smart. For a guy, for even Scott, like a guy who you would think would be just dumb as a doornail, that made no sense. But like I've seen some like conferences, like press conferences with NBA players, and they're bad. Like in just sports players in general, they don't know what they're saying. They have someone either right next to them that's kind of like, say this because it's a very good idea. It's like a PR person is like right there, or if they do something wrong, like the kids do drugs thing, like that thing from Scott Pollard. So he's a very smart guy. You'd think he'd be just like kind of like Cliff Robinson, hanging out, having fun. He's not. He's really there to play, and I think that's what I really can respect about Scott Pollard. But
Yeah, and I mean, him and Jason are the duo, and I'm surprised they're still together. And I'm going to be, who's going to make the first move on one another? Are they going to actually make it to the final 3 together, or who's going to like? I can't see them voting each other off.
I can't either.
It'd be the saddest day ever.
Yeah, I don't think the Wonder Twins are going to break up. But the thing that's somewhat concerning, will they get flipped on by the Beauty? I think that might be a potential thing.
That's what I was hoping to happen. I was truly begging that Beauty would go with Brain and start voting off the Braun, because truly Braun has such a big with that super idol. Oh my God, they could be unstoppable. Like they could pick them off one by one by one by one.
Because this also, I'm thinking, could this final tribal, could it be a final? I think it's a final 2. I don't know if that's been confirmed or not.
Oh really?
I don't know. I feel like that could be a final 2 because they're having now there's one more medevac, and then Redmond I think spoiled something where it was like there's something coming up where it's like you can eliminate a jury member or something, and so I don't know how. I feel like it's gonna be a final 2. Because they're really low on. I don't know how many jury members are right there on there right now, but it's not that many. Like it's not. I don't think it's gonna be that much.
Well, there's 11 players right now. If they
there
do a 3-person final, then it would be 8-person jury.
Right. And then they would have that twist, which would make it 7. I still think, but then they could also be trying to push a thing where if they get to 9, they have 9 people in the jury, they could end up maybe getting a split vote and making it like a crazier season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the thing is,
I
I don't see something happening big, because I mean, from what it sounds like, all the producers are like hating on this season. Like they didn't talk it up. Jeff didn't really like it, and there's something that's going to happen where the reason why they hate this season is going to come up at some point. Either it's going to be the ending is going to be super awful because there's a medevac, and it just gets all screwed up, and it's like not interesting. There's no blind sides, and it works out happily ever after, because that doesn't make good TV. You know.
I know what you're saying. I also think a lot of people have said this, I think, on the Reddit, and some people might have probably pointed out on Twitter. Part of the reason why Jeff probably doesn't hype up this season as much, or this one in particular, is because he's kind of probably learned that lesson where when he did it for Worlds Apart, like I remember he hyped that season up, and it wasn't a bad season. Like I thought it was a really good season, but with everything that happened, like the second chance vote, the Shirin thing, I think a lot of people are like, dude, you gotta shut the fuck up because this isn't like he like made it seem like it was gonna be better than like heroes versus villains, like Kaguyan. Like he thought it was gonna be the shit, and it wasn't.
See, I really liked it.
I liked Worlds Apart, but like I didn't think it was like crazy over the top. Like Tony Vlachos, I still think made Kaguyan with like an underdog story like Spencer. Like you didn't see that. Like it was a very obvious winner edit. Like you kind of knew Mike was gonna win after a few episodes when they're like Blue Collar was gonna win, and he just kept coming in every single episode when he was kind of not needed to be.
Yeah.
But sometimes again, editors are tricky as well. They can be. We saw it in San Juan del Sur. The Natalie win came out of nowhere. Like, I don't know if she just wasn't given the sound bites, but, like, you thought either Jeremy or Josh were going to get to that final. And once Josh got out, you're like, Jeremy's done. He wins this game. And then all of a sudden, Jeremy gets voted out, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And then it became a really good season. Had a very good ending, I think.
Yeah. I think, I thought Neil had such a good potential of winning this season. I'm so bummed he got out.
I love Neil. We'll talk about Neil in a few minutes. But, so kind of going into it, so they get the whole merge thing. Like Aubrey's like, oh, I need something to change, and obviously when you have a quote like that, something's going to change. Game changes, and then the merge comes. Like they get on the boat, whatever. I just always wonder, like, what's your reaction when the boat's coming towards you? Like, do you think like I think they're lost, or do you?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, there's a random boat coming to shore. It's the fucking pirates or something, and
yeah,
Jason,
like we're gonna get kidnapped.
I mean, I would have been like, what the fuck? Why is there a boat coming towards? And then I'm like, I don't see a producer on it. It looks like two people that live here.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah. Oh, are we invading their homeland or something? Like, is that what's going on? Or like you're gonna see like a little like friggin' hut behind them or something, But yeah, like that's just got to be weird. Like you could see Michelle just kind of going like, there's a boat coming. Like, should what do we do? Like, do we fight back? Do we,
All right, let's grab our torches, turn them into spears. Let's go.
Yeah, we gotta make torches. All right, or we gotta make spears and just take these people out. Yeah, it seems like that. I mean, I would love for that day to happen. Like I'm just sitting on day. I mean, and I think you would even love that day when you're sitting on like whatever day the boat's coming. You're like, what the fuck? Like, is this? I would love it because I've heard random stories even from Neil where he's like, I found like a cabbage on the ocean. Like it just came up onto our beach.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, all right. Like, so I bet like shit like that happens. I guarantee you see like a plane fly over, like a boat going by. Like, there's probably
I'm sure.
that. But like,
I'm pretty sure the whole production team and whatnot has boats out there on the water.
Yeah, it's
making sure like people aren't coming in and stuff like that. At least that's what I heard.
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't surprise me unless like one gets like sneaky and just gets right by. Who knows?
Yeah.
They go and it's like, oh, we're gonna rob this camp, and then they just get there and like, well,
there's not much to rob. Here, take my rice.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, if you want, you can have this rotten like cabbage over here or rotten
we got
whatever.
A few coconuts over here too.
Yeah, it's like, hey, rob us of our coconuts. Then we get to we finally. I love like again we've both said this. I love the merge. Like it's always like when their reaction and everything, and when they bring all the food over and like it's all getting set up. I love.
Oh God.
I loved how Kyle and Scott or Jason and Scott got plastered. Like they were gone.
And I mean, so was Debbie too. She like confessed about how she wanted to cuddle with Nick in the bed. Like, who says that to someone?
Well, I just think that's.
Oh man, Nick, I really wanted to cuddle you a whole time. I mean, if we ever have the opportunity, why don't you just come over and like lay next to me? It'd be so nice.
Yeah, Nick was just like, yep.
He's like scratching his head. He's scratching his head, like, what the fuck is wrong with this woman, dude?
Yeah, well, he's like, not happening. I mean, I think that's just Debbie though. Like, I think just she's this big she's this big old wackadoodle anyway.
Yeah,
and
she's a wacko. Salt and pepper, ebony and ivory, toilet papers and toilets.
Yeah, she's
what? Like, where did she get that from?
Oh, that was something I thought you just made that up. I was like, that's really clever.
That's what she said.
Oh, she did say that.
Aubrey.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Listen, I want to just go up to Debbie and just kind of like knock on her head and see if it's hollow. Like if there's something going on, or maybe the hamster just gave up. Like it's kind of just, or it's getting to that point,
I think the hamster's constantly rolling, man.
I think
it just doesn't stop.
God, that thing's got probably if it's still going, it's got to be on overdrive. Like that, it's probably running on adrenaline right now.
Dude, it's just got a bottle full of Adderall, three monsters sitting next to it, and it's just chug a lug a lugging.
Yeah, it's eventually gonna give up. But the back to like quickly to Kyle and Jason, and he has so many different names, but Jason and Scott, like you don't see that anymore. And I loved how Nick was sitting back and just going like, I'm gonna watch these morons get drunk,
Yeah.
And he's just screaming at Julie and Michelle like, eat a cookie, like, all right, like,
I know. Eat a fucking cookie.
yeah, he was going nuts. Like he's a dude you want to go out with on your 21st birthday because it's gonna be a good time, and not because like
yeah.
you're gonna get drunk. He's gonna kick the shit out of someone. He's gonna
Oh,
bar
yeah.
fight.
Everyone has that one friend where it's just like, please come out with me on my 21st birthday,
Oh, yeah.
but don't kill me.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait till I turn 21. That's gonna be the biggest thing for me. Is like I'm gonna get people that I know are gonna go nuts and just record the shit out of them. Like
Yep.
just so I can forever be like, hey, you remember this day? Like at their wedding. You
The
just go,
thing is, you'll be the one getting recorded because
I know.
all those guys that get fucked up are going to be wanting to get you fucked up.
I know. That's gonna be the big problem. That will be fun. I think that will be the craziest moment. I still want to at least be able to get something where I can go at their wedding and be like, hey, remember this? And then just kind of play it. Like, forget all the baby pictures. Like, I'm going to show the time they got really fucked up. Like, that's my thing. Because I like embarrassing people. But also, another thing that I loved about Debbie, we'll go back to Debbie, because they didn't show many other characters besides, like, they showed a lot of Debbie, a lot of Jason, a lot of Neil, because Neil was leaving, and Scott, and whatever. But the thing with Debbie is, she's an awful wing woman. Like, in just general. She's just going up to these people and going, you should come with us. Like, you're going to join us right now, and you have no say.
Yep,
at
no
all.
say at all. Yep, you're with us.
Yeah.
Okay, then she looks over at fucking, like, I don't know, someone. She goes, yeah, we got her.
Yeah.
Like, oh, really? After one little conversation, Ty's like, I don't trust that woman.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I loved when Ty. This was something that'd be like, I think it was just a very subtle thing that he did, but I don't know if he intentionally did it or like it was like whatever. But when she's like, all right, like you're with us, he sat there and was like, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, sure. He like shook her hand and everything, and then he's like, well, I have to think about it. And she's like, no, you're with us. He's like, yeah, I'll think about it, and just kind of didn't really like let the conversation go. Like he just kind of like let it happen and whatever, And that's one thing you gotta love about Ty. Is like, I'm not going with the crazy lady, like the crazy cat lady. That's not happening.
The thing is, I would hop right on that train and I'd ride that bus all the
Oh.
way to the final three.
Wait,
'Cause
would
she's
you
psycho.
ride Debbie or
Oh,
ride
literally, I would ride her. No, I'm just kidding.
Ty? Oh, whoa. I'm trying to figure out, is she married? Like I don't like I'm trying to.
I don't
figure
think
this out.
so. I don't
But she
think
said she said her husband.
Oh, then maybe she is. I don't know.
I don't know. But here's the thing. She also says she has 2 kids, and then but she doesn't post it. Like she like talks about her dogs, or she has like a lot of pictures with other dogs. I don't know. I'm really like I'm lost. I don't know.
But I like her. I think she's a final 3 contender.
She's
Just
also
because
a
of
coach.
how weird she is.
Well, and like people want, regardless of where, I have a feeling she's gonna like get to the final, like that final tribal, and just sit there, and be like this articulate, like she's gonna get everyone with all of the great answers. Like she's like, oh, actually, I'm a lawyer. Boom, motherfucker, and like everyone's gonna sit down and go, shit. How do I not like vote this person? Like, how do I not write her name down for $1 million? She's so smart.
She is got many different techniques. She's a model. She's a lawyer. She's a biomedical, like, I don't fucking know.
She's a former convict.
Former convict, yep.
Yeah, Orange is the New Black shit right there. Like she's got it. If you ever need a shiv, actually perfect. If we go back to where that boat came in, if it ended up coming down to a point where they had to go like they had to throw down a little bit, she can make a good shiv. Just saying,
yeah.
she has
Surprised.
to.
She knows how to make a shank.
Oh yeah, she's cut a bitch. Like that's happened at some point. But also the thing, I wonder also another thing with the merge, because I really the merge is always fascinating. How you really have to like kind of interact with a lot of these people. Like you have to go to every single person, because it doesn't seem like they're really doing that. They're just kind of going, oh, it's nice to see you, and they have like that merge feast, and they're like, all right, whatever. Like we're not gonna really talk strategy ever again.
You see, my goal would be to get out there and make a personal relationship with everyone I see. Be that person that they can come up and talk to about anything.
Right.
Because if you have that personal connection with someone, they're gonna want to keep you around.
Right.
You
And
know?
you have to also be very observant. Like you have, so especially like in a Brains Beauty Bronze situation, there's three tribes. You have to watch every pair that goes out, and that like
Hmm.
that's basically like the key spot. I've noticed whenever they do this, there's three spots people go. It's either along the beach. They'll go
Yep.
to the left of the shelter, or to the right of the shelter. You watch those groups go anywhere. That's basically right at the fire. Because if you sit near the because you're gonna see people coming by you if they're going to the beach, you'll see them go by you. If you'll see people going left or right. If you sit in the shelter, you have a good angle, but you're gonna have blind spots as well from the back. You
Yeah.
can still have a pretty good idea of like who's coming around you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I just feel like there's that huge blind spot. They could be talking about you right behind the shelter for all you know, but that would be my little goal of like.
That's
Yeah,
why I gotta
again,
make a spy shack just like Tony did.
I heard that got blown though. Like I heard they knew about that the whole time.
Really?
Because cameras fucked them over. Because the cameras follow you. Like
Yeah,
there's
seriously. That's what I don't understand. How the hell do you not see a camera following someone looking for an idol?
well, not even just that.
Or
They have they probably have
boom.
like the packs on the back, right? And then
They have a boom. A guy
yeah,
with
it's
a
a boom.
boom.
Yep, they have
It's
the
like-
boom and then the packs, which I think are there just they have extra. They don't miss a thing. But like, yeah, you're right. They have to at least pick that up. Like they're like, huh? I don't think that boom microphone was just naturally there. Like, it just seems a little odd. Like, and they're literally zoomed in. Like I guess Russell Hantz claims that the way he found all the idols was the cameraman would kind of like just die down and be like, oh, he's not gonna find it. All of a sudden, when he got near, he's like, oh, like he's gonna find it. He's gonna find it, and like that was how people find idols too. Like just watch the cameraman, or even during your confessionals, you listen to a producer and they're like, what do you think of like Brenda? And then you're like, that little shit is talking about me. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure that's how they get all the aspect of what's going on is through the production.
Yeah, you got to like, and I'm not saying they're all stupid. It's just that that's their job. They have to capture every moment of it, or they have to kind of push you in a direction where they're like to get better TV. Especially in a season where it was as boring as One World, they probably don't want to sit there and be like, all right, well, one person just makes an alliance and keeps them all together, like just gung ho for the finale kind of thing. We already know Kim Spradlin's gonna win, that kind of situation. But I think that's their big thing. And then, of course, we have to have an immunity challenge about balancing balls for Jeff Probst to make comments. That's all Jeff Probst does is just talk about balls. And like a lot of people go out really quick, and I was surprised actually. Scott Pollard did really well.
Yeah, I was surprised with that too. I mean, I've got big feet too, and standing on a little pole like that, dude, that shit kills your feet, man.
Yeah.
You have size 14 feet, and you're standing on like. That's what I don't understand is how like they adjust things for your height, they adjust things for your weight and stuff like that. Why don't they adjust it for your feet length too? Because that's so much easier for someone like Ty's size to sit on that.
Right.
It's like it's obvious it's gonna win for Ty.
Well, question: how tall are you?
I'm 6'5".
Okay, so he's 6'11". I don't know how much he actually weighs because I actually had to look this up. So you might be better at him than this, just because he has a lot more of that height and like weight on him. So this is basically like a thing that is against him. So you might have a better chance at this challenge just because you probably have a little bit that cancels it out.
Oh, definitely. That's why I think it's kind of unfair that the production isn't adjusted for your height and
weight and everything.
Shoe size.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense at all as to why.
That's why I'm glad they don't do those kind of challenges for like Final 5, Final 6, because if they do, it's like an obvious little guy's gonna win it.
You're right. I know what you're saying. And I mean, well, Nick's a big guy. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Ty or Julia should have won the challenge, but like, cause they're like the tiniest people. Like, Julia's probably like wicked tiny feet along with Ty. They probably have like pretty tiny feet. Nick's probably a big dude. I don't know how I should. We probably could. We can't ask him on Twitter because he doesn't fucking reply to anyone. But he probably has a pretty good sized foot, maybe. And he's he's a big dude.
I'm trying to look up how tall he is.
Yeah, that's how I did with what's his face, Scott. But a lot of people like Debbie didn't last. I thought Debbie would have been perfect for this challenge. Like she's like this tiny, like nimble person, but like
And she was a waitress, so she knows how to hold that kind of
and
thing.
yes, you'd
I'm
think like
shocked.
Michelle. I think Julia was a waitress at one point. I'm not sure, and I think Debbie, yes, was a wait. Well, Debbie's been everything, so she should be good at everything she does. And then I don't know. I don't know who else. I feel like maybe Nick has some waiting experience, so that could. But like those people, you'd think would last longer than
Yeah.
in the. That's what I was thinking immediately. I was like, how did these girls go out so fast? Like they are waitresses, or they probably have done it. But then again, I think Michelle's a bartender. I don't think they do that, depending on where she works.
Yeah.
What else? So, but just the whole challenge. I also loved when Jeff said something about Ty's balls, like having to balance the balls, and Debbie just ducks down and like is laughing.
Yes,
And
I saw a picture of that on
yeah.
Reddit.
Yeah, I saw that one, and I just think it was perfect. Like that would have been my idea of like I wouldn't even have ducked down. I would have busted out laughing in the middle, like in the whole entire thing. I would have got it instantly and just laughed my ass off.
It's Jeff's quote was Ty's balls banging into each other, and there's Debbie just laughing in the
Yeah,
corner.
that was yeah.
Neil's like rubbing his head, like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, he probably got it too. Like Ty's a very. Do you follow Ty on Twitter?
No, no.
Very perverted. There was one that was it was on Reddit. This is a while ago. I can't remember the exact thing, but it was like what was it? I think it was when the beauty was still together, like the whole tribe, and Michelle said something like, "Oh, I found a big clam," and then Ty replied back saying like, "Oh, here's my pussy" or something, but it was like a cat in his lap or something. It was really like it was so fucking funny. Ty's he's very very funny, and I could see why he's so charismatic and everything, and you root for him because he's that 54-year-old man or like whatever. You just like that. It's just how it is. You root for him, you know.
Yeah. Dude, that dude's balls hang out of his boxers all the time. It drives me nuts.
Who's?
Ty's. Dude's got a package for being a little 5'4", dude.
Well, sure. Hey, I'm not really staring at his
I was
dick.
so happy. I was so happy his pants came back on.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that at all.
You didn't realize he was wearing his boxers for fucking 19 days?
Well, I noticed he was wearing his boxers. I'm not like looking down, going, "Hey, let me see what he's packing." Like, you could look at Scott Pollard and basically go, "That dude's probably got an anaconda in there." But like, because they should. If you
His theme song should be "My Anaconda Don't."
Oh,
Anaconda Don't.
I really hope he gets voted out, and that's what plays.
Yeah.
That would be so funny. But then once Nick wins the immunity, rah rah whatever. Like no, like it doesn't really
I
matter.
was so happy he won.
I was happy he won because I want to see more of Nick, and I like
Same.
how he's like the prettiest girl, or he wants to be a pretty girl or something. That quote was fantastic, and it makes you wonder like where was this dude? Like where was Nick the entire time?
Yep.
You know.
He said he was gonna let Caleb do all the hard work and the challenges, and then once the merge came around, he's gonna show him up, and that's what he did.
Did he say that to Caleb?
He said it in a confessional.
Oh, in a confession.
He said,
Okay.
he's like, I'm fine with Caleb doing all the work. Let him be the hot shot and stuff. But once the merge comes around, I'm gonna show him what's up.
Actually, that would have been probably true because I think Caleb. The thing with that is Caleb probably would have like blown right through all of his energy, because he would have probably been like with how it looks, he probably been like a lot skinnier than what he was when he left.
Yeah.
I think by the merge he probably been pretty tiny. I don't think he would have been able to do a lot of the challenges. He might have been actually a medevac at some point. He might have gotten hurt, exhausted, whatever.
Well,
But-
obviously.
Like I think he would have really had a real heat exhaustion moment, because I think that some people said, I think the All the Fixins podcast had Marcus on there, and I think he said something about like how he might have had an anxiety attack or something, or like he felt like there was just
Well, I heard his kidney and liver were failing too.
right. But I think that if you can mentally think that, I think that like I don't know. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I have no idea, but I think it was just part of it. Like they knew shit was going wrong. So I don't know. I don't know how what was really happening, but that's what Marcus had thought. He thought like that's what kind of happened, and I mean, whatever. Caleb got pulled, and there's not much we can say besides that. That was their call, and I think they made the right call, because I
Yeah.
think it could have been
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot worse.
Definitely.
Regardless of what it was, I think when you're that in your head, I think you can kind of shut things down.
They wouldn't pull him unless it was a real emergency.
Right.
So I trust production, all that kind of stuff.
Right, especially in that moment, I think they were so scared. They were like, we don't know what we're gonna do. You know, like this is gonna be a
Yeah.
problem. You know,
Yep.
so, but going into the after the immunity challenge, a part of me feels like this is where I think Jeff is a little frustrated, because he does ask him where all the cuts are before the challenge and everything, and like you could Neil, I don't know if he said he had one on his back at the challenge, but I know he said he had one on his leg, and people were just kind of showing him off.
Yeah.
And Jeff was kind of scared. Like you could tell he was scared, but also in a production standpoint, he's like, God, fucking, like we're gonna lose the whole cast, and this is a problem. You know, most of this cast is out now. Most of the cast is down and out because Aubrey and Scott. I think even the medical dude, who I loved, was named Rupert, by the way.
Yep.
He said Scott wasn't looking too good. Was still looking pretty banged up.
Yeah. Is there one more medevac or is that it?
One more.
There is one more.
There's supposed to be 3.
Oh my gosh. All right. Then it could be Scott.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it could be Scott, but I feel like it could be Joe as well.
That's what I was thinking this whole time, is that it was going to be Joe.
Well, I thought this one was going to be Ty, based on the preview. Because I remember in the preview, I could recognize his shorts and all, and I was like, oh, he's going to... Because then the doctor was like, I'm going to have to pull him. And so I was like, there goes Ty. Like, that's it. Because and I think they were just trying to set him up for, like, a returnee. Like, they want... Because they're going to have Ty back. They're going to have Caleb back. They're going to have Ty back, regardless. But apparently Ty's looking fine. So... I don't know. I'm interested, but this now makes it a better season because you have now 2 idols still in play, and both in one person, or well, Jason still knows. I don't think Ty knows that Jason has an idol, but that makes a very good, power couple right there. They can kind of align and be like, hey, if you get in trouble, we'll play the idol.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like Ty will give it to him. That's another part of me that says, like, I don't think Ty's going to give it to him.
He's a smart guy. I don't think he will either, but if he's smart enough, hopefully, if he has to, he will.
Right. Like I see. This is where I'm torn. I don't think Jason will give his idol to Ty.
No, Jason won't. Jason won't.
Regardless of, and I don't think Scott would be willing to give Ty the idol either, because I think he might have some little bit of say.
I doubt it, dude.
I think he has a bit of say.
Jason is the commander in chief. He is controlling Scott like a fucking rag doll.
No, I see. I could see. I think Scott is a little bit brighter than that, but I think Scott has a lot more power over Ty though.
Oh yeah,
he could easily say, "Hey, dude, we need this," and I don't know if Ty would be willing. I don't know if Ty would be willing to go with that because I'm leaning towards the fact that he might be more with the beauties than the Braun.
Really?
I would feel as though he might end up telling Julia at some point.
That's what I found interesting was that they didn't even have the beauty, like Julia and Michelle, their whole women's like alliance thing. They didn't have them talking at all. So is Beauty actually really together? It seems like it's Michelle and Nick, and then Julia is just kind of hanging on by a thread, in my opinion.
Oh, I think Julia and Michelle are like the 2 peas in a pod. I think they're still together, they're just not showing it.
Then if they are, I don't think it comes into play then, because I feel like production would have made that a big thing this episode, with them coming back together and finally seeing each other and being like, oh my god, I'm so happy to see you.
But also you have to remember these are 2 very smart, beautiful women who can easily say, yeah, we don't talk to each other we're not going to talk very much because then we're targets.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I mean, I could see what you're saying too. That could be a very big case of they might not be aligned anymore. But I just feel like that might be, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how this plays out because we still have some episodes left where we can kind of say, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
What did I say? The dynamic, the power couple of Nick and Michelle, who I still think are actually an actual couple right now.
I think so too.
I'm so.
That's what I said last podcast. I'm like, dude, they're definitely hooking up.
They have to. Can we go to that? Because they have to be, right? There's no
the
way
way they look at each other is like, damn, we did it last night.
Yeah,
and it was good.
Wow, where's Rob Cesternino when you need him the most? Like he had some very good quotes back in All Stars. Like they're fucking. Like he just basically said they're laying out the carpet and they're shagging.
Yep.
I don't think they're actually doing it on the island. If you have to, we can discuss this as well. If you have to do it while out on the island, probably shouldn't be out on the island. You know, it's a game. I
Dude,
get it. Like,
I'm sure they do. I'm being totally honest with you. Production has a table out there that has, band-aids, all that kind of stuff, and there's definitely condoms on that table.
no, there are. There are condoms on the table or in the med box or whatever.
Yeah.
Neil tried to. So on Twitter, Neil had tweeted out he tried to start a fire with a condom or something,
Yeah, I saw that.
and
Yeah.
which Neil's like, how does Neil know that though? Like, that's the thing that really gets me. Is like, how does he know how to start a fire with a condom?
He's fucking Survivor, man.
He's got to be. I could like again. I agree with you. I think he could have taken this shit. Like, he could have really done some
Oh,
damage this season.
definitely. Can we get to him?
Yeah, we'll get to him in like a couple of seconds. We'll quickly just go through everything. So now we have the alliance of I don't know if this was before the actual challenge or after, but Jason has approached now Julia and Michelle, which it literally I guess took 2 seconds to form this alliance of hey, me, you, like we're bullies, like hey, bullies and beauty, like whatever, we're going to the far, and the proposition he offered was the worst proposition. He's like, we'll go to the end together and we'll sort it out then. Who says that?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
in my head, I would be thinking, like I would say, yeah, let's do that. But I'd probably go to a confessional and go, probably not gonna go that way because that's a horrible deal on my end.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And then, which I'm gonna ask you this because I think we're roughly the same. I think we actually might be the same exact age. Did people ever get shoved into lockers where you went to school?
No.
Okay, because I mean,
To be a matter of fact, that was my biggest fear going into high school.
oh, I could tell you. I could honestly tell you some shit when I went to high school. Like before I went to high school, when I was in middle school, my teacher showed us Mean Girls. They showed us Mean Girls and like this thing like you'd go to if you didn't have like gym class, you'd go to a certain class and just do whatever. And like all right, so you have to get a permission slip, whatever. We saw it, and they said to us, "This is exactly what high school is going to be like." So I go into high school thinking,
girls?
yes,
What the? What?
yeah. So I go into high school thinking, as a young impressionable kid, oh, there's gonna be like girls getting into fights, teachers sleeping with kids, which that kind of happened, but that's a whole story for another day. And it wasn't that at all though. Like it wasn't as bad as what they showed, and
But Jason is right when it comes to the beauty always goes with the jock to prom.
oh, that is 100% true. It's oh, that's always true.
It's kind of true on Survivor. At least it's looking that way.
Well, in general, it's always been that. Like, it seems like it's always been that way. And I don't really remember a time when like the nerd really got the chick.
Yep.
Like into an alliance. I mean, they got like.
Except Spencer, dude. His girlfriend is freaking smoking, man. The things I would do to her, I'd bend her over.
No. We don't know. No, we don't need to. We don't need to. Because then he'll end up like just going through. Oh, what's this podcast? And then he hears.
Oh
this,
yeah.
Fuck. And your
we
Twitter.
could wish.
The thing is, your Twitter's not even on the thing. Mine is. He sees it, and then I get the one that gets blasted for it. This is like your cue to go, oh, well, then, if that's the case.
Yeah, if that's the case, let me go into depth.
Yeah, let me talk about everything.
Yeah.
But, like, I've heard stories, actually, kids in my school did get pushed into lockers.
Really?
I was talking to a coworker about it. She didn't watch the show, but I was like, did people ever, she's like, oh, yeah, a bunch of cheerleaders ganged up on me in the gym locker room and threw me in a locker, and I got stuck there till, like, 5th period.
Bullshit.
No, I could see it happening. If you saw, like, I could kind of see it happening. Because she's, like, the know-it-all. And, like, I mean, I felt bad, but, like, you could kind of, if you could probably see it happening. I think I even heard the story beforehand. But
I tell you, there was this one time I was at the hockey arena, and there's these lockers in the back, and I walked towards them with my friend. I'm like, dude, I've always like wondered what it's like to be like in a locker. And remember, I'm 13 years old at the time, so I decided to walk in the locker and shut it, and I try to get out.
You can't.
And I'm like, uh-oh, dude, I started banging. I'm like, get me out of here. Dude, they had to go get the manager and come over and like fucking pry the thing open. That was the fucking scariest time of my life.
I remember actually thinking about that once when I was a kid. What would it be
what kid doesn't think about what it's like inside the locker? Like, I don't know, we're just kids and we just think of stupid stuff to do. So that's something we like to do.
Well, you know what I always think? I always blame Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. Remember Backpack Boy
Oh
when he would go
God,
into like
yes.
the locker and it was like this huge thing where like he had backpacks and like all this shit. That's what I always thought of. Like every time I'm like in a
Yes.
locker, I'm like, what if it's like a party room? And I think I might have actually thought about that once. Just like I
Yeah.
try to convince people to really go into the locker. I actually tried to do it. I don't remember though. I remember if I actually went into one.
Try it sometime, man. It's a whole
Yeah. I'll try it. And just I'll be like tell you, I'll send you a message on Skype. Be like, hey, yeah, I'm in a fucking locker. It's not going too well. um, what else? We could kind of probably Let's head into the Neil thing. So Jeff comes in with we saw this from the preview. Actually, we actually saw the exact shot where Jason.
See, this was a surprise to me. I never saw the preview, so when I saw Jeff coming in, I'm like, what is going on? Like, I had no clue. I didn't think anyone was that injured. I mean, I didn't see anyone like dying. Usually there's someone like passed out or something.
Right.
All of a sudden, Jeff just walks up on the beach with a med, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's always the best part. When Jeff comes onto the beach, that's when you know shit's gonna get real. Either it's the unfortunate Terry pull, like when Terry got pulled, the sad like his son was, I think I had to get like someone with his heart.
Yep.
That was sad, or it's either like, you know, it's something bad. It has to be. It's really like it has to be something really, really bad. And when you see Jeff walking up onto your beach, it's either again the Terry thing, or like Joe Dowdle. He was actually at the challenge, and Jeff came by and said, "Hey, he ain't coming back." You know, that kind of deal. At least they got Tribal off. We'll give them that. But
Which makes me so mad. But go ahead.
I can see why you're mad. I mean, it's always frustrating when they do that. But what was I gonna say? Oh, when they were showing the people, like they're like, all right, everyone sit down, and they were kind of just going through. Some of these injuries were nasty. They were disgusting. Like,
there's a Mount Rushmore, a different head of Mount Rushmore on each person's leg.
Yeah, that was, and which Neil's actually got worse from the challenge. When he showed it at the challenge, his was actually like a lot more caved in. It looked kind of someone had something exactly like his. I'm just trying to remember who. I don't remember. I don't think, was it Joe Dowdle who actually had that one?
I don't remember.
Yeah, someone had that exact kind of injury, and like, yeah, you gotta go. Like, this is, and
It literally looked like a volcano.
yeah, it looked bad. Like
Going to the whole depths of hell.
yeah, which I like to call it like Mount Saint Neil or something. I think that's what he called it.
It's something like that. I don't know.
That's one thing like that you gotta love about Neil is he has a very, he has a good sense of humor. Like, he's not like most people in the world who would, like, you'd think Neil would be someone who'd be like, if you told a joke like that, he would get offended and like cry about it. You know, he makes the jokes and he seems like a good dude.
Yeah, I definitely agree. He's a good guy. He knows how to take a joke and give a joke.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love the, like, if you see the exchanges between him and what's his name? Nick and like Pete.
Nick and
Pete. Yeah.
I mean, on Twitter, Neil's a freaking god when it comes to giving it to Nick, and I can't tell if Nick is like likes it or if he gets pissed about it.
I don't even know if Nick sees it. I think he just like I feel like Nick has notifications turned off, and just sits there like and has these tweets literally planned out on a board. Like, he literally has mapped these out since he got back from Cambodia.
TMZ alert! TMZ!
Yeah.
Hold up! 3 hours ago,
Oh.
Michelle Fitzgerald just posted on Twitter a picture of her and Nick
Saw that.
butting their heads together, and says, I don't know what it says, but yep, they're your thing.
I wish I had the thing that goes dun dun dun. All right.
Oh, Nick made a post. Michelle and Nick under a tree. KASSING. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a baby in a baby carriage.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, this is really like the thing is, it's kind of somewhat sad that we're really like trying to figure this out. But
And there's a picture of them hugging. Dude,
I actually saw that too.
yes, they're together.
I don't know. I'm trying to I really am trying to figure out what's going on with that. And I don't think we're ever gonna find out.
Someday, once they get married.
I don't even think then. I think then it will still be like we won't be able to figure it out. I'm just so curious as to like are they really, you know?
Yeah. But back to Neil.
Yes, back to Neil. Well, we'll go through like everyone's injuries quick. You know, I mean, everyone looked really bad, and I don't know, like Jeff looked shocked. He was kind of, I think, showing probably a little bit of a lighter side of what everyone else should have been thinking.
He was cringing.
yeah, you could see a part of him was thinking like, this is not like we could lose this whole cat, like literally lose 4 people in one go. And Joe, I guess, still has an infection. They never showed it though.
Oh, really? Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me, but your mic sounds like fuzzy.
Oh, does it still? Oh shit,
Yeah,
crap. I think.
we lost him. Looks like it's the Jake show.
I think I lost the stream too. Oh nope, I got it back. Yes, no. 4 people in one go. And Joe, I guess, still has an infection. I don't know if. Shit. They never showed it though.
Oh, really? Hey,
Hold on. You there?
yep.
All right. I think I might have lost your part of the talk. I think.
The whole time.
No, actually, nope. It's still going. Never mind. Okay, you're good. We're good. What were we saying?
We're talking about Joe.
Oh yeah, Joe has a finger infection. I forgot where I saw that, but I guess he has a finger infection, and he's getting it treated with antibiotics.
Oh, didn't they say someone was going to be treated with antibiotics? Who was that?
Aubrey.
Oh, was it Aubrey? Okay.
Yes, which I don't think that's gonna get better.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Again, we don't know.
I was like cheering. I'm like, Lance it,
Yeah.
Lance it.
Yeah. Well, they did that with Neil. They did do that with Neil. He actually got the lance, and it didn't work.
So that I thought he said he cut it open and it just like bursted open.
Well, so it was in some interview I read. I don't remember which one.
Okay.
He had said, I think around day 15, I think it was, he had just kind of noticed it, and he had asked for medical to come in and just kind of like lance or do whatever. So they ended up lancing it or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been on a different day they actually lanced it because it looked a little bit, eh. And then by day 19 or day 15, I don't remember how the exact timeline worked. He was kind of like, all right, this isn't gonna go. This is gonna be the death of me.
Yeah.
I forgot what day he actually found it, and then ended up having medical come in. It could have been day 10. I don't remember, but that's a very quick that. That just shows you how brutal the season is. Like an infection like that, you'd think wouldn't take that long. Like it would take a little bit longer. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but
Yeah.
that's wicked fast for an infection like that. And then he has this thing on his back. That's going.
That looked worse than the thing on the front.
Yeah, or it was getting worse even.
Yeah.
Even the medical was kind of sitting there going, I mean, it's good, but not great. Like it's something that we're gonna have to treat at some point. And I can't think of what's in that exact area, but that's something they probably were extremely worried about too. That that would infect that specific part. I don't know if that's even possible, but and Neil, I'm gonna give him credit. Didn't want to leave, and I felt like he would have. I think that could have been a longer conversation than what we saw of him trying to beg them to not take him out.
Yeah. I felt bad for him. I mean, going through all of casting, then months before casting, like you put so much into this.
Right.
You make it to the merge, you're set.
Right.
You have an idol. Like you could win this game.
Right.
And then this little thing on your leg that doesn't look that bad. It literally it kind of looks gross and all, but it's not like you have a broken leg, broken arm. You're not passing out. You don't have you're not getting a heart attack, right. And that's what causes you to leave the game. It's devastating.
And that's the that's the thing that kind of sucks is like again, like you said, you get the initial call of hey, you want to come play, and then you go through like the months of I guess it's like 2 weeks of the actual casting. You go out to finals or whatever. I don't know the exact process. And then you can get cut the last second. Like, the very last second you can get cut is like, and there's so much that you have to do beforehand.
Oh, yeah. Testing, right. Paperwork on paperwork, interview after interview.
Because we read about this all the time.
Months of waiting.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, we read about this all the time. Is like, and there's been people that have gotten, I think even Max might have, I think he got cut from Caramoan. And then,
really?
I think he got cut from Caramoan. Not the one we know, like from the podcast. Like I'm talking about Max Dawson, but I think he got that. Yeah, I think he got cut from Caramoan. I could be wrong. I'm gonna have to maybe I'll tweet at him and ask him that question. And I think Nick was even in consideration for Caramoan. And again, you never know when you're gonna go on. Like Wes from San Juan del Sur made one tape, sent it in, never sent another tape. And a couple years later, they call him like, dude, why? Like, what happened? What?
Yeah.
And that's not like that's what I'm gonna do. Is like this is probably it for like this last year. Done. Like I think I'll kind of be like whatever. Maybe I'll send another tape after that. But if they want me, they'll call me. That's how I look at it. Because people
I mean,
have that.
the way I look at it is, if I'm gonna, keep applying, keep applying. If something huge happens in my life, changes, I'll make another video and apply again. You just gotta work at it.
Yeah.
And if it comes to you, it comes to you. It's
Yeah.
literally like what, 300, 19 out of like 5,000th chance.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
how many applicants they get, but
They get. I don't think it's as much as it used to be, but
No.
I think you're in the ballpark of 15,000.
yeah.
I think
I'd
it's
say
roughly
so.
there. And there's always a new one applying every day because there's always an 18th birthday,
Yep.
and there's always
That's
a Survivor
very true.
fan.
Yep. Very true.
Yeah. So I mean,
So Neil leaving, you could tell I would be devastated. Anyone would be devastated.
Right.
It's
well, I also think I heard a rumor that he was. I don't know. It wasn't an actual thing. I think he was also supposed to be on Worlds Apart, and then just got cut the last second. And then they liked him still, and they're like, "Hey, you want to go play on Brains Beauty Brawn?"
okay.
I think he was supposed to be on the White Collar, which I've heard a lot about the White Collar. I heard the Tyler was supposed to be on the No Collar Tribe, and then some dude, I forgot who it was supposed to be like on the White Collar Tribe, and he was like a former football player who turned.
So Neil was an alternate again for that.
I think I don't know. I've heard the story. I would have to ask him maybe, but
I wonder what the fact is on how many alternates make it onto like next seasons, or how many alternates we don't even know about.
oh, there's been a lot. Like I think I've heard. I know Max was one, or he was cut in the last second, and I don't know if he was an. I think, and then I thought he said Kagyan as well, or he was an
Wow.
alternate. Which I mean, and I'm glad we had like Max on the show, like a guy like Max, because I love the people that are super fans. Like when the super
Yep.
fan goes out, they're in awe.
They
of
give
the
her hell.
experience.
They give it all, dude. They leave their blood, sweat, and tears out on
Right.
the island.
Like as much as like some people might not like Dan Foley, I got so much. I got to give him so much, so many props because that guy went out there, and you could see like people like Sharon, Max, Dan, Mike, Joe. Like the minute they got out there, and the cameras were rolling, you could see that like, holy shit, I'm here moment, and that's what I love when I see the fans play. When there's someone who's like, and even Jeremy,
It's immediate game time.
yeah. There's a trigger that just something that goes off in their head that they're like, I'm here. Like Jeremy, when I met him, you could see like that. You could kind of get the idea he was a super fan. He applied like for 10 years, and it took him 10 years to get on the show, and which I mean that's from reading the Redmond bio, but you could see even when he got out there. I don't know how much of a fan Val is, but you could see that there's something in Jeremy there where he's like, I'm here. Like I'm able to play this something that I've been wanting to do for years. And I don't know how much casting he went through to get to that point, but even Rodney was supposed to be on. I guess he went in for casting for 29. That's a fun.
Wow.
Fact. Yeah, he was in. I think he went with his dad or something, and then got cut, and then went on Worlds Apart. Honestly, I think that was probably a better choice because then we still got the character out of Jeremy.
Yeah, yeah.
And it really built up a great story arc for him in Second Chance. So I think, and Rodney will be back eventually. I think he'll be back in 34. I could see that character coming back. And then, again, I don't know how that will work with Caleb, though, because they're both roughly the same. But
Yep.
speaking of Rodney, we'll quickly get to this. Actually, no, let's get through the episode quick. We'll talk about Rodney in a minute. So Neil's medevaced, and I feel bad for Neil. Like I love Neil's character, and I want to see him come back. But again, I've said this about so many people in the past, and I don't know if he'll come back. Like I know he would come back if called, but I don't know if they'll let him come back.
That's what I think too. I mean, he is a really good player, but there's so many other people
Who've been waiting.
who've been waiting and waiting. So maybe down the road a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't see him coming back for 34. No.
Oh, I don't see him coming back for 34 again. Yeah, I agree with you. Like down the road, maybe if they do like a Philippine style thing where it's like the medevac comes back.
Yeah.
That would be the ideal, situation for him to come back. But I don't see him coming back. But then again, Kelly Wentworth got cast on Survivor Second Chance. Like, I don't know. But she worked her ass off for that too, and I think she had a lot more to prove. And a lot of people were kind of like, I don't even think the casting intended her to get on. To be honest, I think
Really? What makes you think that?
I felt like they wanted just a blonde to get on there, and I still thought like even when she left, I felt like Kelly Wentworth. She was in a season with big characters,
Yeah.
and she was kind of like underused as a character. I don't know how well her confessionals were, but there was so much happening. She was just with these big power players,
Yeah,
And
I
then
didn't think she was that big of a player either when she was on her first season, and the
right,
second season came around, and it's like, holy shit, this girl
yeah,
packs some heat.
yeah, she's she's very smart, and I gotta say I gotta give Kelly Wentworth a lot of props for coming back and playing the way she did. Um, especially just going like she went out she went out with a bang, you know, especially that idol play with Jeremy,
Oh yeah,
which I think has happened once before. Not like that. I think someone said it was in San Juan del Sur, but you know, San Juan del Sur produced a lot of great players. I gotta say,
yep, they did.
regardless of how you look at the season, it gave you Jeremy, gave you Keith, gave you Kelly, gave you John Minch, Jacqueline. I thought was a great character.
Yeah,
Natalie, Reed and Josh were good characters. I think Josh still has a lot more potential to come back.
definitely.
But you know, Neil's casting I think was great. We'll talk about Neil's casting quickly, and I think he was a great casting. I would like to see him come back.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm trying to think who he reminds me of though. You know, I had to think about this.
I think he's own kind. I don't see him reminding me much of anyone. I mean, he is his own person. He's done a lot in his life. He's like
Yeah.
hiked a mountain
Right.
for gay pride or something like that. I mean, he did the world like some hunger program, didn't he? He's just done so much, and he's so soft spoken,
Yeah.
and
He
he's
seems
like
like a sweet dude.
He's
Sorry.
like his own little character.
Yeah. And that's something, you know, that's great about him is like he is his own person. He doesn't have to be like
He's
there's
not
so many
trying to be anyone else. Like
Right.
he's not trying to be a Russell, you know, he's not trying to be like a Jeremy. He's not trying to be like a Cochran. He is himself. But I guess that if I look at it that way, there was one person that he would remind me of is a Cochran.
Huh.
I mean, both
Yeah.
very nerdy people,
I
kind of quiet at
Yeah.
first, you know.
Yeah, because I remember that Cochran was very, very quiet when he first played, and then when he came back his second season, he was just. We don't talk about Caramoan. That was a dark season for me, but you know, I did not like that season. I don't know what your thoughts are. I think no, you might have said Caramoan was you liked Caramoan.
Kagian,
You like Kagan? Who said was it? Max that might have said he liked Caramoan.
possibly.
I think he might have said he liked Caramoan. I'll have to go back and look at that, but I could see what you're saying with that, and also he survived the whole Corinne Kaplan Uncle Larry thing, so there's that.
Mhm.
I don't know if you have seen that thing yet.
I don't know.
Rob has a podcast, the Corinne Kaplan burn book.
Mm-mm.
Look that up, and you will. It just shows you why you should love Corinne. She should be back for a lot of seasons of Survivor. Like, she is so funny.
Really?
Yeah, she'll go in with a burn book. She has like the burn book, and I guess on Neil's thing it says like his Uncle Larry is his like what's it called? His
Idol,
his idol,
hero.
whatever. Yeah, and so Corinne says like, "What did he get molested or something?" Like, well, like what is it? Like when I hear Uncle Larry, I think of child molester or something. Like she said something along the line of where it was very blatant, like he's a child molester. But yeah, Neil's a fantastic casting.
Good job casting.
Yeah. Also, Rodney Bowl 2 is happening, even though I have not. I'm probably gonna go. I don't know if you're
Rodney,
gonna go.
what?
Rodney Bowl?
What's that?
You haven't heard of Rodney Bowl?
No,
What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Jeez.
You tell me. What is it?
So Rodney Bowl's a thing where it's like just a bowling event, like where Survivors and Big Brother contestants, I think maybe Amazing Race go. And I didn't like obviously there's no reason for him to reach out to us and say anything, but I just think I love the actual event that he's doing it for. It's for bowling and all. It's kind of like I think it's mostly to raise awareness for bowling. I haven't really looked too much into it yet because I remember last year. When he did it, it was for his sister Natalie, I believe is her name, and it just
Okay.
all the, like it was all the things that she went through, and
Yeah.
so and I think it's just a great thing, especially coming from a guy like Rodney, who you would
Where
never
is it
expect anything from.
located?
Huh? Oh,
Where is it out?
Boston.
Boston. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't flying there.
You're not flying there?
Going.
See, I'm like I could take a train, or I'll take an Uber. I don't know. I mean, it's
Take an Uber.
I'll
How
take an
far
Uber.
is it from you?
Boston is it's gonna be a distance. Taking a train is probably 45 minutes, maybe an hour.
That's an expensive ass Uber then.
Hey, it depends on what I do to get that Uber. No, but like, I could just take a train, then call an Uber and be like, "Hey, drive me to whatever. Drive me to the Riverside, which is the closest. That's the quickest way to basically get there for me. But which is that's like 45 minutes. So actually, no, it'd probably take an hour and 45 minutes maybe. I'm going out there in this April to go to Boston, so who knows?
That's pretty cool.
Maybe I'll relive the Julia Sokolowski moment where I was like, oh shit, I see her again, or I could see Rodney.
Yeah.
That was one of the things last year when I went out in March. I was like, I might see Rodney, but not a future Survivor contestant. Still have to ask her about that. Figure that if that's an actual. I'm really curious. Honestly, I really am.
Another big, on a different note, Australian Survivor is canceled.
Wait, what? It just got announced.
It literally there's just news that came out from, I don't know, Channel 10, whoever that is,
That's their local.
stated that the Australian version of the popular U.S. reality TV show has been canceled after analysis of newest episode of Ko Wrong, the 32nd season in the U.S. franchise. The producers of the Australian edition have said that they realize the danger of Survivor and are no longer willing to hold the risk of running such a show. Applicants from around Australia have voiced their opinion on social media, some of which had applied to the original version over 10 years ago. Channel 10 has apologized to all applicants, but have made clear that they will not be reversing their decision.
What the fuck? That's why?
I guess they're a bunch of pussies.
Well, like, not all Australian. Like, I think it's the idea. Like,
Yeah, you would.
huh? What were you saying? Oh, something happened? Am I by myself? What's happening? Hello, hello. What happened? Alright, so, by myself. Here I go again. This is going up on YouTube. There's no way that's going to actually fly. Shit. It's the Gordo Show. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can hear me? I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you at all. Shit. Oh, wait. I can hear something.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, there you go. Now I hear you.
Well, that was weird. I don't know what happened. But as I was saying, dude, you would think Australians would be like, let's do this. They're from Australia. Australia is like the most dangerous country in the world.
Oh, well, like, I don't think it's the most, like, in terms of, like, land, or, like, the natural, like, life or whatever.
The natural life, has the most, like, dangerous animals, insects, you know.
Yeah, like, that's the thing that's surprising. Like, when you said that, I was really shocked that they're just like, oh, yeah, we're not, that's really surprising that they're just all of a sudden, no, we're not doing this anymore. But that's part of television, like, that, they do that for no reason.
They better not do that for America. God, I'd be pissed.
A dude died in Ka Wrong for, I think, the French version, and then the doctor who was trying to treat him killed himself, and we still went to Cambodia.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to Google that after this.
Yeah. The doctor who was treating him killed himself because he couldn't deal with the pain. I don't know. It was weird. It was a really long, weird kind of thing, and I mean, it's sad, but we went out there. We went out to Ka Wrong, and like the thing is, like, I get it. You want to cancel the show and you don't want to be liable, but that's why Survivor, like this version has like phone book contracts, a lot of lawyers, and some. I mean, they're good doctors. I'm not gonna say the best of the best. There's probably better out there. I think a couple of contestants have come off and said they're not really qualified for this. Like, they're not qualified to handle a situation like Caleb's, but they did a pretty good job for what they had.
Yeah.
You just gotta have that. The thing is, and also Jeff is very good at like tasking people, and he's very aware of things that are going on. Mm-hmm. That you could, well, I guess he wasn't that aware. I guess Anna screamed at him a lot and like cursed him out. But until like when that actual event was happening, he was really aware of like, all right, we gotta get people like fans and all this stuff.
Yep. Well,
I think that's it.
That is it. Let's wrap this puppy up.
Yeah, so thank you for coming out tonight, guys, to listen to us talk about the newest episode of Survivor, the casting and everything. Hope you guys all have a great night. Peace out.
Thank you very much. Hakuna Matata.